I'm Cece Gonzalez, the Director of Client Services for a creative management agency. I travel around the country to music and art festivals working with the biggest names in entertainment, while working in areas related to content creation, brand integration, and investment management. Wait, I need to get comfortable with you guys real quick. Hold on. I'm Xiomara Nixa Gonzalez, the Director of Client Services for a creative management agency, and this is me. The first version of The first version you met on stage was the version that I've conditioned myself to become in professional settings, especially when my colleagues are predominantly white. It's the one that makes me feel like I'm playing a character in the worst way possible because that's really the only way I can make a decent living. It's the one that most of us expect when we hear the word professional. Now, let me ask you this. Which version are you going to hire, Cece or Xiomara? According to a study done by researchers in Northwestern University, Harvard, and the Institute for Social Research, looked at every available field experiment on hiring discrimination from 1989 through 2015, and yet there was no change in anti-Black racism in hiring since, while yet only anti-Latino has only somewhat decreased. Chances are, majority of you in this room would have only hired the first version of me. But why is that? It's me when I code switch to fit white professional standards, and it's me when I talk and look like this. Cubics, an international assessment and talent development consultancy, conducted a survey in 2016 and found that 84% of employers strongly focused on cultural fit, which was defined by values, visions, norms, working language, symbols, belief systems, and habits of staff, along with their agreement to set of acceptable behaviors. Their study of 55 large organizations found that 9 in 10 rejected candidates due to the fact that they didn't have cultural fit, even if they possessed the necessary skill set for the role. Now, there's even data from the implicit association test that shows more people in the United States have a pro-white preference. This is also supported by a study published by researchers at Arizona University that concluded that white men with a criminal record had better responses to job applications than Black men with no criminal record. Why am I on stage telling a bunch of strangers about these studies? Because this has affected me in my life. I've been told that the way of talking is too aggressive when I'm just talking and expressing my ideas, that my braided hairstyles and curly hair aren't professional enough, even though braids are a part of my culture and the curls, I cannot control the way it comes out of my head. That my earrings and Cuban links aren't appropriate enough for the workplace. But why not? I've been qualified for positions, but probably not hired because of the way I look and talk. But the way I look and talk is just as much as a part of who I am and the things I've learned along the way. So if I don't emulate whiteness, do I no longer know these skills? No. Many employees like to boost up, or I like to say hype up, the fact that the commitment to diversity. But when somebody like me shows up, they're not as interested. It's like almost as if they want employees with different skin tones and colors, but they want us to act the same and behave the same and forget the fact that we all come from different cultures and we go through different experiences. And that's why we show up the way we show up into life. And sometimes we focus on toning ourselves down to limit our authentic self-expression and to fit the mold, you know? But our creativity often suffers, which can make our job performance suboptimal. Not much suboptimal where current professional standards, but suboptimal to what it could be if we showed up as our true, authentic selves, with the freedom to bring every part of ourselves. Think about all the fresh talent and perspectives many employers are likely missing out on because the rockstar employees are walking and talking, looking like me. If we don't change what we're looking for, we may never find who we are looking for. And we'll never know a stranger in gold hoops what they have to bring to a table if we don't let them pull up a chair. The company that I currently work, a few years ago, I would never have expected where I'd be today. I come from humble beginnings. I grew up in the hood, living with my mother's best friend until 14 years after that, I found out that that wasn't my biological father. I didn't know who I truly was as a person. I didn't know why nobody told me sooner. Everything felt so fabricated and planned. I was bullied in school. I got into a car accident and almost died. And then I had body issues. I had struggled with body image issues. It took me a lot of time and self-exploration to accept myself for who I really am today. But I'm alive today to tell you that's why it means so much to me. That's why it means so much to me to show up today as my true, authentic self, no matter what situation I'm in. The CEO of the company I currently work for welcomed me to pull up that chair. He encourages me every day to bring my true self. I don't spend my time nor my energy focused on how to be something I'm not, especially if it's for a check. I'm valued as a professional. My ideas, my work ethic, and approach to working for our clients are valued. I'm valued as a professional, me, Xiomara Nixa Gonzalez, just out here doing me while getting the work done. And this is what a professional looks like. And now I urge you guys to reconsider what it looks like for you.